Most people think hand creams is about adding oil to the skin. It's not. A good hand cream is about controlling water and oils and creating the right ratios and the right emulsification between those two. Most people think that making hand creams is about adding oil on the skin, but in reality it's about making the right emulsification of water and oils. We're gonna make a hand cream from scratch and explain what every ingredient does, simply and also at the chemistry level, because I know some of you really care about chemistry. So we will do that, and then we will see the formulation and the whole recipe. You can see how simple it is to make your own hand cream at home. Skin doesn't need more products, it needs better understanding of certain key ingredients. Today I will show you how water, oils and structure work together to build a cream that feels light on the skin, that lasts long and actually does the work. So let's get down to it. Making hand cream contains two phases, the water phase and the oil phase. We'll have some emulsifiers that are basically substances that help connect the oil phase with the water phase. They are substances that have both polar and an apolar tail. So let's get down to it. Let's start with the water phase. The water phase contains of three simple ingredients: water, provitamin B5, otherwise known as Panthenol, and glycerine. Now, I want you to grab one of those, a metal bowl. If you have a plastic bowl, that's also fine. And then a scale. I'm gonna post the recipe in the end for everyone to see. So we're gonna start now, first of all, with the water. The water is the main player of this hand cream. So this hand cream actually is mainly water-based, is 71% water. You heard that right, 71%. That's how much water we need for a good quality hand cream. So let's go ahead and add that. I'm making a total of 250 grams. I'm gonna include the recipe in the end for all of you to see. So I'm gonna add 150 grams of water. Water is the delivery system. It hydrates, spreads the cream, and lets everything else do its job. At a molecular level, water increases skin plasticity by hydrating the stratum corneum. The second ingredient that we are gonna add is glycerine. Glycerine, what it does is that it pulls water into your skin. It's also called a humectant. It has 3 hydroxyl groups and it forms hydrogen bonds with water and keratin. Under 5%, it's basically useless. Over 10%, it starts getting very sticky. Around 8 to 9%, it's where you have the professional territory. For this recipe, we're gonna go ahead and add 8.9%. Let's go to the third ingredient of our water phase, Panthenol. It's also known as provitamin B5. This is basically the repair system. Panthenol converts to pantothenic acid in the skin. It improves lipid synthesis, reduces inflammation, and it increases the barrier recovery speed. For this recipe, we're gonna go ahead and add 1.9% provitamin B5. Now let's make the oil phase. Grab a new metal bowl or plastic bowl, and then we're gonna add all our ingredients. So we're gonna start with one of my favorite ingredients, which is shea butter. Now, if you have been following me for a while, you know that I love shea butter. I use it in all types of soaps, and the thing with shea butter is it's very high in stearic acid. It also has palmitic and oleic acid. But what shea butter usually does is that it gives structure. So it will give structure to this cream. As you know, I make a lot of soap. In soap making, shea butter gives a lot of creaminess to your lather. So it's a very versatile ingredient that you can use it among different products. So I use it in hand creams, I use it in soaps, I use it in massage candles, I use it in lip balms. I basically use it everywhere. I even use it in deodorants. So it's a lovely ingredient. We're gonna go ahead and add 10% of shea butter. Now let's go to the next ingredient. And this is perhaps one of the most important ones. Why? It's called BTMS 50. And BTMS 50 derives from coconut oil. What BTMS 50 does is that it helps water and oils stop hating each other. Basically, it makes water and oils connect together. So BTMS, I'm looking at it here because I could never remember this name, is basically bechentrimonium methosulfate, and it's a cationic emulsifier, positively charged. The fact that it's an emulsifier means that it has both a polar and an apolar part. So the polar part, which is basically the water-friendly part, will connect with water, and the apolar part, which is the oil-friendly part, will connect with all our oils. We're gonna go ahead and add 4.9%. That's all you need. Then let's go ahead to our next ingredient, a fatty alcohol. It's a very typical ingredient. It's called cetyl alcohol, and what this fatty alcohol does is that it thickens and stabilizes our structure. So we're gonna go ahead and add 1.9% of cetyl alcohol, so very small quantity. So now we have our water phase consisting of water, glycerine, and provitamin B5, and then we have our oil phase that consists of BTMS 50, shea butter, and cetyl alcohol. And that's it. Now we're gonna heat those. Once they're melted, the oils here, we're gonna mix them together. They both have to be warm. If they're not both warm, there will be separation and your cream will not work. So you have to heat both of these up, then mix them together. And after we mix them together and the temperature has dropped, we're gonna add vitamin E, which is an antioxidant. We're gonna add our organic certified preservative, and of course, essential oil, because we want to smell nice. So let's go ahead and warm them up. So here we are basically melting our oils over a double boiler. And once this is melted and warm, we are also gonna warm up our water phase over there that contains water, glycerine, and provitamin B5, because we want both of them to be warm. So our oil phase is melted, our water phase is also heated up. So now we're gonna mix the two. So we're gonna add the water phase into the oil phase, and then we're gonna blend. It slowly starts becoming thick, and as it cools down, it will become even thicker. So right now we're waiting for it to cool down, and as it cools down, it will start getting this very beautiful hand cream-like consistency. You see? It's already happening now. Now it starts really to look like a hand cream. I really want to put my fingers inside. Now our mixture is cooled down and we are ready to add our final ingredients, which is vitamin E, essential oil, and the preservative. Now you're gonna ask me, Perry, why didn't you add those beforehand? It's because vitamin E, preservative, and essential oil, they're all heat sensitive. So that's why we want to add them right now that our mixture, our hand cream, has cooled down, and it looks like that. So it's, you see, it doesn't drop, it's quite thick. Let's go ahead and add, first of all, our essential oil. So we're gonna go ahead with 0.8%. This is how much essential oil I add, but of course, it depends on your personal liking. Some people don't like strong scents, so you might go down to 0.5%. Some people like very strong scents, so you might go up to 1.5%. This is something that you decide, basically. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our preservative. Do you actually need to have a preservative? Well, if you have it at home, you can also store it in the fridge. I used to have hand creams and I would store them in the fridge for a very long time, and there was nothing wrong with it. Like, it's safe to store it in the fridge. But if you want to store it long term at room temperature, then you need the preservative, because a hand cream is a water-based system, and when there is water, there is also microbial growth. So you really need to be aware of that. And I use a Geogard Coast Guard certified organic preservative, and I will list below where I buy everything, so you can also follow that if you want. So we are adding 0.5% preservative. And at the end, we're gonna go ahead with our vitamin E, which is an antioxidant, and for that we're adding 0.1%. And now it's time to blend again. Our hand cream is ready. And here comes the exciting part. The exciting part is to actually add the hand cream in one of those. I like to buy these metal tins. You can sterilize them by basically putting them in boiling water for a few seconds, and then they're safe to use, and you can safely put your hand cream in there. So I'm gonna now add it inside this, and you can see our hand cream looks like that. It smells amazing, and it's something that you can easily make at home with only these few ingredients. You need a water phase and an oil phase. Once you understand how simple it is and how chemistry works, you can make any product you want. If you want to know more, I have an ebook that explains how you can use a few oils, coconut oil, shea butter, castor oil, olive oil, some waxes, in order to create many different skincare products, from soap, dish soap, soap for the body, for the hands, for the face, shampoo bars, hand creams, lip balms, massage candles, etc. If you make this recipe, please let me know. I would love to see the results, and I would love to hear your thoughts about it. I'm gonna now post the recipe of the different quantities that I personally used, and feel free to comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.